Yeah, I think I have. Yeah, I think I've witnessed one actually. Sister got in a fight at school because
Your
of
sister
race.
got in a fight?
Yeah, because of her race.
Ooh.
Would be racial slur. So she wanted to have it. So
Your sister's Latina, right?
Mexican.
And then you?
Well, I was homeschooled, so it was my brother, my sister, and I, and we were all mixed children. In school, we never necessarily had any issues with it, but out in the world, just being in the shopping mall with my mom, who's a white woman, we definitely experienced some racial attacks to a degree.
Growing up in Virginia, it's a racist town in general. There was a time when I was with a group of friends. We were in a car. We were parked outside of a house, which I guess they were having a party. We were parked there. We were waiting on a friend to come out, and a cop car comes from behind, and they knock on the window. And instead of pulling everyone out the car, they pulled my friend out the car, which made zero sense to me. He got out the car. They manhandled him like for no reason, pushed him against the car. He fell on the ground. I mean, he's in tears, and they're still just like treating him like shit. So I come out the car, and in my mind, I'm like, y'all really trying me, but I won't finna do that because they cops, so they can do that. So I'm like, sir, can you please stop? Then they took me, arrested me for no fucking reason. Bleep that out. So they arrested me. Me and my friend were arrested. My sister comes. She gets arrested as well for trying to help me. And we all get arrested. We're in the backseat of the car heading to jail.
I was literally just scrolling through Instagram yesterday, but there's so many pretty black girls on Instagram, and I feel like it's definitely a platform where I feel like for a while modeling was exclusive to black girls, but kind of social media has become a platform where our beauty is accepted, but then at the same time it's everyone is outrageously pretty, so it's kind of really high standards to live up to, but it's also a good thing, I feel like.
Well, I obviously think that racial discrimination in the school system affects people in their adult life. I think for a number of reasons, practical reasons of if I think people are disciplined disproportionately if they're people of color, which can lead to a worse record in school or lead them to be exposed to the justice system unnecessarily, which can divert their life plan. So in that respect, yes, in terms of the opportunities they have access to, but also I think there's definitely been studies that people who face discrimination and racism and bullying are more likely to develop mental health conditions and PTSD symptoms and just stress in general. So I think both in an internal kind of intrapsychic way, people are upset by that, and that can have long-term implications, and then also just in terms of their life plan and their opportunities, it affects them.
So yeah, racial discrimination in the school system, it can definitely affect people, students, pretty deeply, especially the lower grade. The younger you get, the lower the grades you get, because with these easily impressionable young kids, this discouragement, whether it's from their peers or from the teachers, can make a lasting impact on them and probably discourage them from making any headway or pursuing what they want to do.
Yeah, I definitely think injustice in the school system affects children's well-being as they grow up. There are studies showing how bullying results in PTSD symptoms in adults, and it's kind of pretty easy to carry that kind of logic over to the traumas of being told you're less than, or being told you're dumb, or even that kind of implicit signaling that's sent in how teachers will treat different students especially teachers who aren't your teachers will treat you in the halls versus the way you see them treat other students?
Absolutely yes. I believe wholeheartedly that there is a great terrible inequity in our public school system, both here in Seattle and nationwide, and I believe that this plays out in many different ways, everything from discipline, so black and brown children getting disciplined at greater rates and in more punitive ways than white children,